Tributes for legendary boxer George Foreman continue to circulate on social media following his death at the age of 76. He's known as one of the greatest second acts in sport after coming back at the age of 45 to reclaim the heavyweight boxing title. The most famous fight Foreman was involved in was dubbed the Rumble in the Jungle, where he lost his first title fight to Muhammad Ali. The former heavyweight champion also earned an Olympic gold medal at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. He became the oldest heavyweight champion at the age of 45 and ended his professional career with 76 wins and just 5 losses. Now, to chat more about this, we're joined by boxing scene reporter Ryan Songalia, all the way from New Jersey. Ryan, a very good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I guess afternoon from your side, right?
Yes, it is, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for making this time to speak to us. I mean, when you talk George Foreman, he's part of that triumvirate of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Just tell us a little bit about the man himself beyond the Rumble in the Jungle, because many people, when you talk Foreman, they talk about the Rumble in the Jungle. But there's a whole lot more to Foreman than just that fight.
You know, it's interesting that I think the best way to encapsulate George Foreman's life and career is actually through a Muhammad Ali quote. Ali said that a man who views the world the same way at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. And, you know, George Foreman evolved so much over his life. Like when he first appeared on the scene after winning gold at the 1968 Olympics, he was seen as this fierce, absolutely menacing young man who had unbelievable punching power and just lifted people off the ground. I mean, look at what he did to Joe Frazier, what he did to Ken Norton, steamrolling his way to the heavyweight championship. And then, of course, he loses to Muhammad Ali. He undergoes an episode in Puerto Rico when he loses to Jimmy Young, and he's gone for 10 years. He comes back not as this frightening man, but as this jovial, somewhat pudgy, bald guy who everyone seems to love. And you hit it right on the head. He had a great second act in life, and he was able to become a beloved figure. He was on television almost every 5 minutes during the 90s, pitching everything from the George Foreman grill to auto repair commercials. He even had a sitcom on ABC here in the United States. He was a beloved figure, and I think that he showed that the person that you enter this world as isn't necessarily the person you have to leave the world as. He grew, and I had very limited experiences with him, but what I had witnessed firsthand made me realize this wasn't an act. He was truly an inspired person.
When he had that 10-year layoff from 1977 and came back in 1987, I mean, from that first fight against Zuski, if I remember very well, up until he lost to Evander Holyfield in 1991, he was just an amazing boxer. I mean, even his knockout ratio tells a lot about not only just a skillful boxer, but talented and a knockout specialist for that matter.
Yeah, you can actually see how his temperament had changed during that time because, when that bell rings, that's the ultimate lie detector, right? Who you are as a person will come out. So he was not just going in there and swinging wild. He couldn't, because that takes a lot of energy. It's easier to do that in your 20s than it is in your late 30s. But he became a craftier fighter. He was cagey. He knew how to set traps. For instance, people are talking about the walk-off uppercuts that he was landing against Jerry Cooney, and to a lesser known audience, he knocked out Frank